Well, I've been collaborating with Jeff Ward since the early 1980s, more than 30 years of collaboration, and he is the author of two of the best books on the early life of Franklin Roosevelt there are. And he and I, in the course of working on films on the Civil War and baseball and jazz and the Second World War and many, many other biographies, have been talking about Franklin or all of the Roosevelts for a long time. And we realized several years ago that we had to do them. And we realized also that there's lots on Theodore, lots on Franklin, some on Franklin and Eleanor, less on Eleanor, and nothing on all three of them put together. And that it was important to see these people in the context of the important family drama that it is.
They're human beings. They're three very great human beings, and I think that's the one thing I hope it will come out in this film, that these are people who conquered many of the kinds of things we've all dealt with in our lives, and managed to make history in addition to that. They're extraordinary people.
These are people who go through divorces, that do suffer betrayals, that have extraordinary physical limitations, that are psychologically insecure. In the case of Eleanor, you've got a lot of the normal kind of human stuff that limits us all. And what's so extraordinary about these three people is how they transformed these limitations into extraordinary strength. The tabloid interest, the notion that's promoted in recent popular movies about Franklin Roosevelt, god awful, are speculations that just didn't happen. We know he had an affair with Lucy Mercer, but that's it. He had extraordinary friendships, very close friendships with some women, but there's no indication whatsoever that there was a sexual harem surrounding him. It just didn't happen. There's always a great deal of speculation about Eleanor Roosevelt's sexuality, but she had incredibly intense friendships with men as well as women, right. And some of those women were committed to other women, but this is our lives today. But there's absolutely no evidence that there was any sexual relationships between her and women, nor were there in the three intense male friendships she had, during her life, two of whom when Franklin Roosevelt was alive, a bodyguard, Earl Miller, and Joe Lash, and then later on after Franklin's death, she had a relationship with a married doctor named David Gurevich, who she said she loved more than anyone else on earth. Now,
anyone she had ever loved.
Yeah, anyone she had ever loved. And so, this is a mother of 5 children who survived infancy, 6 if you count the baby who died, married to the greatest president of the 20th century, without a doubt, and she liked David Gurevich.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they could get elected today. Eleanor's not attractive enough. Franklin Roosevelt is, of course, confined to a wheelchair, enough said. And Theodore Roosevelt is too, as Jeff indicated, is sort of too hot for the cool meeting of television. He would have had his Howard Dean moment very early on and dismissed before he got out of the Iowa caucus. I don't think any of them could have gotten out of the Iowa caucuses, which is a terrible shame.
Yeah.